present to you today a pretty easy entree. It's simple and it's delicious. And it is crab stuffed tilapia. They kind of look like little gondolas. They're really yummy and tasty. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with a whole brick of Philadelphia cream cheese and have it softened because it's a whole lot easier to deal with. So we're going to soften it, and to that Philadelphia cream cheese we're going to add a half a teaspoon of the whole fennel seeds. I love whole seeds, and if I can grind them myself, the flavor will reward you openly. And we're also going to have a half a teaspoon of coriander. I love these two. They're quickly becoming two of my favorite herbs and spices. The coriander is so lemony, and the fennel is so, tastes like licorice. And I wish you could smell this. Even with this short little pounding, the smell is wonderful. Give it a good crunch. Get a mortar and a pestle. If you don't have one in those in your kitchen, go ahead. Or you get one of the coffee bean grinders. That'll work too. But I kind of like this. All right, you guys are looking good. All right, so I'm going to add my spices or my herbs into the Philadelphia cream cheese, and then to that I'm going to have a quarter of a teaspoon of lemon pepper and an eighth of a teaspoon of garlic. Garlic powder, just the dry stuff, because you want just a little hint, but not that much. So now we're going to begin to blend this. Just mix it up just a slight amount. It's getting soft, and each time you do it, it's going to get easier. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of Romano. I love Romano. It's easy to cook with in all applications. So we're going to make this nice and smooth. And while we do this, I'm going to talk about how we're going to make our little cream stuffing. We're going to mix this all up, and then we're going to split it into half, or about 2/3 and 1/3. And we're going to make a cream sauce to go over with. But the remaining 2/3 is what we're going to use to stuff our tilapia. Tilapia is a good fish. It's light in flavor. It's relatively inexpensive. And I don't know too many people that don't like tilapia. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some of this cream cheese mixture, about 1/3 of it, and I'm going to just set it over here. We're going to emulsify this with some other ingredients, and that's going to be the sauce. And in the meantime, this is going to be the base for our crab stuffing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a can of crab meat, and we are going to save the juice. I'm originally from Maine, and we take our seafood seriously. We use all kinds of juices for all kinds of things. I don't waste any of that. The flavor in that is marvelous. And so what we're going to do then is going to take and put the whole bit of the crab meat into the first portion. You can smell that. It's a delicate balance of all these flavors. You can smell the little bit of the coriander and the crab meat, of course. Oh, yummy. What is not to like about crab meat? And it blends so well. Look at that. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to add 2 tablespoons of panko breadcrumbs. Panko is a wonderful breadcrumb. It comes from Japan, and I'm not exactly sure how they do it, but it sure beats the breadcrumbs that I've tried. I make a lot of my own breadcrumbs, but I'm becoming a real panko fan. So, all right, here we are. We're about ready, and we're going to stuff our little gondolas, and then they're going to go into the little boat here, and we're going to stick them in the oven. Okay, here we go. Let me show you how this works. Tilapia the fillets come like this. And see how they have a split? It kind of makes them a lot of times really hard to work with. But I found that they work really well as little gondolas. So I'm going to take some of this crab meat and the Philly cheese with that wonderful panko and all my spices. And we're going to just lay them right down in here. Oh, they will work real well together. I have taken and I'm putting them in an 8x8 pan that I've already sprayed with a cooking spray. You don't want it to stick. See how they stick up real? They snuggle in there like a bunch of little kids in a bed. They're really, really cute. Nice little package all in here. Now I'm going to finish this out. And at this point, you can either just top it with the sauce or you can add some garnishes. I've put chives on it, and today I have just a little bit of the salad shrimp, not very much. We're going to put them all in there just to garnish it. The salad shrimp doesn't really add a whole lot of flavor, but it just adds a lot of color. Okay, so these guys are good to go, except we're going to add our little bit. We're going to line them all up, just stick them right in here, and it just adds a really pretty color. When we bake this, and I'll bake for about 30 minutes at a 350-degree oven, it's going to come out tender and moist. But to get a nice brown topping, you'll want to put it under the grill, under the broiler for about 5 minutes, just to gently brown it. It looks really pretty when you're done, and it's just so appetizing. Okay, so that's about a half a cup of the salad shrimp, if you like. If you don't like, then you can leave it off. Now, let me clear all my dishes. Normally you don't make that many dishes. Here is the 1/3 of the original cream cheese mixture with the spices that we have, and what we're going to do is I'm going to add the clam juice, but I need to bring the liquid component up to 3/4 cup. So this is heavy cream, because heavy cream will not burn. I didn't know that until a couple of years ago. So we're going to bring that up to 3/4 of a cup. And we're going to add that to our first part of the cream cheese mixture. Then I have a tablespoon of butter, because you can't cook with Paula without putting butter in it. And so we're going to put this over here, and we're going to emulsify it. This is an awesome tool, girls. If you don't have one, go and get one in the store. It makes the neatest thing. Okay, I'm going to set this right here, and there we go. We're just going to pour this. Look at that. Isn't that the most delicious looking sauce? Now cover the whole thing, and you're going to end up with, it seems like an awful lot of liquid, but it won't be. When we're done, we're going to put this on a plate of rice and just take a little bit of the sauce and cover it. So this is your little gondolas, your crab stuffed tilapia. We're going to bake it for 30 minutes at 350 and then brown it in the broiler for another 5. But I have one all made for you. See, isn't that beautiful? I put it on a bed of rice pilaf, and here is my batch that I have just taken out of the oven. And it turns out, see how nice and golden and yummy, and you can see a little bit of the shrimp. So see this broth that's left over? See how thick that turned out to be? It is so yummy. All I do is then just glaze and put this sweet little broth right over it, and you will love it. I've been making lots of recipes lately, and sometimes it takes a few times to perfect it, but I made this the other day, and my husband loved it. So I thought, oh, I'm going to make it for the real women of Philadelphia and Paula Deen. So I hope you enjoy the little gondolas, which are made out of tilapia, and they're stuffed with crab meat.